everyone. Hi, welcome, welcome. It's Friday, TGIF on Let's Talk Money. Hey, I'm so happy to be here. So happy that you are here. So happy that we can be together. And this is the beginning of another month in the year 2023. And I'm here to support all women to become more financially free, more financially confident. And so I'm inviting you, as you are just now coming into Let's Talk Money on a Friday afternoon. I just want to invite you back every week to the same place, same station where I'm going to be at your service. I'm going to be right here with you at your service to see what it is that we can cook up together. Let's see what we can cook up in the kitchen of your lives. Let's see what's happening. Let's see what money we can talk about today. Let's see what you would love to talk about today. So I have, shout out to my friends who are just now coming in. And if you are coming in live, why don't you say hello to me in the chat? Say hello in the chat and let me know where you're chatting in from. Let me know where you're coming in from. I'd love to honor you. And also, if you're seeing this on a replay a little bit later, I want to honor you too. So please say hi, put hi in the chat. Let's make sure that everyone feels welcome. There's Anne. Hi, welcome, Anne. Great to have you. Where are you here from, Anne? So happy that you're here. And I want to just commend everybody for getting through what I think was a very fast January. What do you think? Do you think that January of 2023 was like a blink of the eye? And so how many of you had a good month? Put your hands in the air and say, I did. I had a great month. Did you have a really great start to 2023 as it relates to the quadrants of your life that matter to you, the quadrants of your life that really matter to you the most? What would that be? Well, maybe you started out 2023 with an absolute plan, a new strategy in the area of your health. And if so, that's awesome. I hope that you're making really good progress in the area of your health. And I'm curious to know if maybe any of you started out in 2023 with a strategy on creating wealth. How many of you put W in the chat if you started this year, 2023, with a priority, with a plan, with a strategy, with a want to, with a must do, with a vision to get stronger in the area of your wealth, to create more wealth in your life, more money freedom. How many of you would like more money freedom? And how many of you would like more earnings, right? More earnings. So you're in the right place, because this is all about money talks for women. Let's talk money. And so every Friday afternoon at 3 o'clock, I just welcome everybody who's in the neighborhood. Drop by, say hello. Give me a topic that's on your mind. If there's anything on your mind in particular, go ahead and drop it into the chat now. And any question is allowable. There are no such thing as a silly question when it comes to talking about money and finances, because I'm here to really bring to you as much empowerment, financial empowerment as possible. So we can talk about any topic that's on your heart and on your mind. And if you don't have a topic that you want to talk about today, that's okay. You might have a private topic. You might want to ask me privately, and that's okay too. And if you do, if you have a question that you want to ask me privately, go ahead and DM me, direct message me right away, whether you're on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, whatever. Go ahead and direct message me, and I'll make sure to get back to you on the question that you may have. So what is Let's Talk Money every Friday afternoon? It's really an opportunity for you to ask me questions. And many of you probably already know, some of you may not, that I'm bringing to you a brand new concept of a financial clinic for women. I kicked it off in early 2023, January 2023. We actually had a really fun open house in late December 2022. And I had a lot of people just jump right in. And we've already begun the month of January sequencing beginners and intermediate and ladies who wanted to really learn more about what can I do to get stronger financially, to really have more confidence in the amount of decision making, financial decision making that is in front of me. And so we've had a wonderful, fantastic beginning in the um, Money Talks for Women Financial Clinic. So I just want to, first of all, congratulate all of the ladies who graduated after their first month of financial clinic courses. We just had a wonderful time. And then some of them are absolutely so crazy about this that they're going to continue on into the next level. We have intermediate courses, advanced courses. And what does that mean? Well, it's an opportunity for you to be a part of a small, intimate group of like-minded women who are really wanting to learn more about great decision making as it relates to money, as well as investments at different times of your life, as well as how to make your dreams matter, come true financially. And how many have dreams in your heart? How many of you put a big D, capital D? If you have a dream in your heart that just might require a little bit of money to bring it about, maybe a little bit of investment to bring it about, whether that's launching a new business online, or whether that might be that you want to write a new book and publish it. It may be that you want to uh, craft a brand new plan for a worldwide trip, which is a dream in your heart that you want to take your whole family on a worldwide trip, and you're going to need some financing for that. So if anybody, here's Shauna. Hi, Shauna. Hey, nice to meet you. So happy that you're here with us, Shauna. Welcome, welcome. It's Friday. We're doing a TGIF as it relates to money. We're celebrating money every Friday right here on Money Talks for Women, 3 o'clock Eastern, 12 noon Pacific. So Shauna says, hi, I planned for retirement, but not this high of an increase of the cost of goods. I get it. Yeah, D. Okay, so Shauna put a capital D in the chat. That means Shauna's got a big dream that's going to require some capital. And so I would think that all of us, ladies, we have dreams in our hearts. We have things we want to do. We have impact that we want to create on this world. We have income that we want to create. We want to learn more, earn more, and be able to make money work for us after we've worked so hard for our money. Would you agree with that? How many of you would agree? Say yes in the chat. I would agree with that. I worked hard for my money. Now let's make our money work hard for us. But Shauna, you're right. It costs a lot more now to retire than it did even, 10, 20 years ago. And that, the cost of goods, you're absolutely right. The cost of goods are going up. Well, we just happen to be in this time of inflation, as you all know. That is what is eroding the buying power of our United States dollars. But, it's kind of a good thing that we're in the United States, because unfortunately, in many other countries, it's worse. It's much worse. And unfortunately, many countries around the world are having runaway inflation, what they call hyperinflation. You can only, a handful of countries in South America are ready to go collapse and almost bankrupt because of the hyperinflation. And those are times what we here in America are very, very fortunate to be in a controlled inflation. It's not out of hand yet. As a matter of fact, last year we had the first bump up in inflation, right? Right? In a long time. I mean, how many years have we gone inflation free? Anybody guess? Anybody know? When was the last time we actually had this great big huge bump up in inflation? Love you, girl. Yeah, I love you too. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, anybody know you? Okay, I should give you extra credit if you have the answer to this. When was the last time we had a massive double-digit inflation in the United States? Anybody remember? Shauna, I don't think you were born yet. I don't think I don't think you were born yet, Shauna. Inflation is eroding my retirement funds. Okay, well, you are in the retirement age then. I'm assuming that you are in a retirement age. I don't know, Shauna. You must have retired really early because you are a youngster. You are a youngster. Okay, 19. Oh, you mean 1959, right? 1959. That's a pretty good guess. That's a damn good guess, and you're not too far off. You're not too far off. But okay, so the real answer is that the last time we had a huge double-digit inflation was back in the 1980s, early 1980s, and late 70s and 80s. And it's an interesting time because I was just becoming a brand new stockbroker back in 1976. And so my first 4 years in the business, I was working at first Dean Witter Reynolds and then later Oppenheimer and Company for the first 4 years of my career between 1976 and 1980. And that was just the beginning of ratcheting up in inflation. Today reminds me a lot of back then when inflation wasn't that bad, but it was beginning to creep up. It was beginning to creep up. And then by 1980, between 1980 and 1983, we had double-digit inflation. And by then, I was one of the early women to have opened my own broker dealership. I was one of the first women on the West Coast to have opened my own broker dealership in the early 80s. And I'll always remember the inflation rates were so high that everyone wanted to buy bonds. They really weren't interested in stocks because stocks get eroded over time by inflation. And sometimes that inflation rate can really collapse the stock market very quickly, as we saw last year, 2022. But back to my story, in the early 80s, most of my clients wanted bonds in their portfolio. Why? Because bonds, you could get an interest of 20%, between 18 and 20% on a bond, and not a long-term bond either, only a 10-year bond. You could be, getting anywhere from 10, 15, 18, 20% on different levels of bonds. You could actually retire just on bonds. You could create a bond ladder back then of, short-term bonds maturing with a 10% yield, medium-term bonds maturing at 15% yield. You could put a ladder in place like that. Some of those bonds back then had a 20% yield. Well, that was because the inflation rate and those interest rates were up so high that the bonds were paying the investors those kinds of rates. And even in the banks, I'll always remember my mother saying to me, well, why should I buy stocks when I can get 15% interest in the bank? Well, of course, over time, inflation rates came back down. Bond rates came back down. And the stock market and real estate and all other hard assets began to rise. So really from 1980 all the way till now, we have had a deflationary economy, the opposite of inflation, where historically we have, as consumers, we've had an amazing rock and roll time of buying goods and services at rock bottom prices. I mean, you all even remember or can appreciate the fact that in the last 10 years alone, we've had an influx of goods and services from overseas, like from China, from Vietnam, from Indonesia, clothes and so forth, way deep discounted prices because of that onflowing of goods and services from other countries. And that has attributed to a deflationary economy when goods and services were cheap. Well, now we're moving back. The pendulum is moving back in the other direction. It's kind of shocking, isn't it? Because we're so used to being spoiled, right? We're used to being spoiled. I know. How many of you feel spoiled? Yeah, raise your hand. How many go, I don't want inflation. I don't want inflation. I know. Shauna asked, do you still invest for others? Good. Thanks for that question, Shauna. I do invest for others. I invest for myself and for my family and for a very select group of people who are with no to inflation. That's right, Anne. No to inflation. But I'll tell you what I'm doing now, Shauna, which is a little different. I'm helping other women to invest for themselves. I'm here to empower other women to really learn what it means to have the basic understanding of really solid foundation, a solid foundational learning at any age and at any stage in life. Because no matter where you are in life, whether you're retiring early or retiring right in that sweet spot of 65 that is traditional in our country, or whether you're working longer and retiring later, or whether you're at the end of your life cycle and you're already beginning to take money out of your retirement and living on it, there are basic, wonderful tenets of investing and managing money that you can learn. And if you don't know it now, you can learn it. Yeah, there's time. And that's what I'm here for. So I have created something really magnificent. It's called a financial clinic for women. Have you ever heard of something like that? I haven't. So I'm inviting you all to learn more about it. I'm here every Friday to answer any kind of questions that you girls have. And I also am here to announce that coming up, I'm going to put on a free workshop, really a free workshop for 5 days. It's going to be a 5-day workshop in February, starting February 20th through the 25th. It's 1 hour a day for 5 days, free. You can register for it right now. There's a waiting list. You can go right to my website, which is below my name right here. You can go to my website and put your name in on the wait list. Register for it right away. It's going to be a free 5-day workshop, and I'm going to start teaching some of the fundamentals of great money management principles. I'm not waiting. You don't need to wait either. You can come join me. We're starting this free on February 20th to the 25th. Now, if you want me to give you the link, just go ahead and DM me. And I'll just, I'll drop in the link to you personally. And if you have any questions on what it's going to feel like or what we're going to be doing in that free workshop, I'll give you a lot more information. But today, I thought I would just take a moment and talk about a topic that we've been really hearing a lot about, that you want to hear about. And that is, what do I do with my money if I'm 60 years old or older? What do I do now? What do I do with my money now? Hold on. Let me hold that thought, because Shauna's talking to me. Thanks, Shauna. I'm so happy you're here. Way to go, girl. I'm at the end stage of life. I trust you and will pull all my investments and transfer to you. Well, I'll tell you what, if I were in the business of investment advising as I used to be, I would accept your offer. Thank you so much, Shauna. I spent 34 years as a professional investment advisor, money manager, and that is what I did professionally, as I managed people's portfolios for them. I'm not doing that now. What I'm doing is helping women learn how to manage it themselves. And sometimes I will also look over your shoulders and give you advice. And that's called working with me one on one as a consultant and a mentor. What I don't do is manage it for you because that takes a license. And I'm not going to go back and reestablish my licenses again. But certainly at one time, I was a principal in investment advisory firms. I built, grew, and sold two investment advisory firms over my lifetime. So I have managed money for an amazing amount of individuals, families, couples, corporations, nonprofits throughout my lifetime. But that's not what I'm doing now. What I'm doing is advising and teaching you to do that. So right now I'm a mentor. I'm a money mentor, and you can still work with me, and I can help you manage your money faster and so that you can understand the principles of it. And what we're going to do is we're going to move into the opportunities that if you want to work with me, you can, and you can learn more about it. Just go to my website. But also, it's an amazing free opportunity coming up. February 20th to the 25th, I'm going to have a 5-day free workshop. I'm so excited. And Shauna, you're invited. Okay. I would love to have you there. You can come be with me, and I'll look over your shoulders. I'll look at your portfolio. We'll kind of take a look at what it is that you want to accomplish and help you out. Okay. Is that a deal? All right. Well, back to my question. Some of the folks had asked, what do I do with my investments after the age of 60? And that's a sweet spot. At 60, you're getting ready for retirement. Maybe you've already early retired. I think 62 is the first year in which you can opt for Social Security income. Many advisors, financial advisors, ask or advise you to wait as long as possible to draw down your Social Security. Certainly 65, 66 is the sweet spot now of retirement. And yet, many advisors encourage you to wait till you're 70, 71, 72 before you actually take your retirement from income from the Social Security system. But at the same time, we're assuming that even beyond the Social Security income that you'll be getting in as a retiree, that you already have some assets, that you already have some capital saved up after a very, hopefully long and lucrative time of earning money over, from the age 20 to 60. That's a good 40 years of your highest earning potential. And really, if you're just turning 60, you still have quite an amazing opportunity to continue to invest and put your deposits into your retirement account, because there's something called the catch-up phase. The IRS is allowing us to have it. I think it's a 3-year window where you can legally now deposit a catch-up phase where you can deposit double, triple the amount of allowable assets into your retirement accounts, your IRA, your Roth IRA, your 401k accounts. But this is a time when women really need to be cognizant of what it is that we need for retirement. How much? What's the big dollar sign? Like, how much is it going to cost me? How much do I need to prepare for my retirement, when many of us, if we're only 60, we have what, 20 more years to plan for, maybe 30. It's no joke. We have, at the age of 60, we may be 90 easily, as with today's medical medical prowess. So we want to be cognizant of the fact that we may have the need to manage our own money more wisely in this generation than perhaps generations before us. Why? Because we're living longer. But not only that, we want to do more. We're healthier. We have bigger dreams. We have impact that we want to make on the world, right? We want to make sure that our money outlives us, right? We want to make sure that our money outlives us, that we have plenty of money, that every year that we need to withdraw from our retirement account, that there's going to be enough left over after that. And usually, have anybody heard of the 4% rule? Anybody heard of the 4% rule? Yes. Has anybody heard of the 4% rule? Usually 4%, meaning that as you retire and begin to withdraw your money, you need to you need to plan to have enough money in your retirement so that every year that you have left to live, you can match your needs, your expense needs, and have that match only about 4% of your total retirement account. Let me say that another way. Let's say you have a total retirement account of $1 million, and so 4% of that is 40,000. So technically, you want to plan that 40,000 that you're withdrawing, that you shouldn't withdraw more than that, so that your $1 million account will last you for a good 20 to 30 years. So a 4% rule is, about what financial professionals use as a benchmark so that you can figure out, okay, I want to plan for, let's say I'm 60-year-old now. I want to plan for a 30-year life. That's 30 more years. And you figure out how much it's going to cost you each year to live. Is that going to be 40,000? Is that going to be 60,000? Is that going to be 100,000 of at your lifestyle that you want to have a good lifestyle in retirement? Well, it's all doable. It's math. It's math. So the first thing that I want you to do as a 60-year-old is make sure that you're working with a planner, someone who's a financial person who can help you really plan that to make sure that you have enough. And if you don't, let's work so that you can have some good advice to have the kind of investments that will stand the test of time, so that those investments will give you enough income so that that your retirement funds will outlast your lifetime. I've heard that the number one fear that most women have is the fear that they won't have enough money to that they actually will outlive their money. Anybody feel that way? Do you have that fear at all, that you have a fear that you're going to outlive your money? So I think many of us have that fear in some time of our life, in some fashion, shape, or form. You just kind of think, if I make mistakes, what happens what if I make so many mistakes, I don't have enough money to outlive myself? Well, this is the time. When you're 60, it's an extremely important time, because that's like a 60% mark. You've lived 60 amazing years, but you might have 40 more years, amazing years to live. So now's the time to get all of your ducks in a row, get your mind in the right mindset, start learning what it is that you need. And I'm here to say, why not learn in a very friendly financial clinic for women, where there's no problem with asking questions that you might feel embarrassed about. There's no problem asking questions that you might feel, all your life intimidated about money. There's no problem that you can come to a financial clinic like the one I'm putting together and feel like you're going to get some answers from professionals that actually have been there, done that. I'm going to be bringing some experts in. I feel like my 35 years of being in the investment advisory business qualifies me pretty well. I think most of you would agree. qualifies me pretty well to bring some amazing answers to the questions that you may have over time. But at any rate, wait a minute, Shauna, I think I'm seeing a question that you have. A question here from Shauna. Thank you. Don't you have to work to contribute to an IRA? Well, yes, I think that you do. A contribution to an IRA comes from earned income. You're absolutely right. And there are other types of retirement accounts. If you're working at a corporation as an employee and you're receiving a W-2 earnings, most employees have some kind of a retirement account set up for their employees. Those are generally called 401k accounts. And at the point of retirement, you can roll your 401k accounts into an individual IRA. That can be done. Or if you're a self-employed person for all your life, you can contribute to your own IRA. And then there's a third alternative called Roth IRA that you can contribute to whether you are employed or not. So there's several different categories of that, but that's a great question. We can go into that more. Oh, yeah, I'm afraid of outliving my money. Sure. I mean, that's kind of like a fear that's half real and half irrational, right? Because there's two parts of that. There's the reality of it. You have to really be sure that you do have enough money to last. And then there's a little bit of irrational fear behind it. So I'm here to help you, a lot of the time so that we absolutely I've got your back, ladies. I've got your back. Now, I think that there's an awful lot of misinformation out there in the marketplace. I just wanted to take a moment and say that if you're moving into age 60, you are at risk of being preyed upon by many people who call themselves experts and who are unfortunately bringing tempting ideas into your field of awareness, get rich quick schemes, all kinds of things that they really prey upon the elderly. I mean, elderly being in my case, like elderly. But on the other hand, women, I think that women have historically been preyed upon or with people who purport themselves to be experts, and really all they are doing is saying, hey, I want you to be introduced to this expert over here, and they're going to they're going to do everything right for you. And lots of times, buyer beware, because what you're really getting involved with are people who are selling you products. And I just want to say that as we move forward in Money Talks for Women, the financial clinics that I'm putting forth, I do have what I love to call an integrity guarantee. And that is that I stand behind my own integrity, that I'm here to help empower you ladies and help you to learn, not here to sell. I'm not here to bring products for you or say that you're going to have, a bank account that you can earn X amount, or introduce you to a hot ETF or an amazing, big something that I think is going to go crazy and you're going to make a lot of money if you do this, that, and the other. I'm not going to be subjecting anyone to that. What we're going to be doing is learning. We're going to be taking really solid investment principles, and you get to learn for yourself. I think most women just haven't had that opportunity. They just haven't had some place that they can go where they can trust that we're going to just learn. We're going to learn the basic principles and really solid foundational principles that will last you a lifetime, because once you learn these, you will have them for a lifetime. And that is my integrity guarantee. I'll be talking more about that in subsequent Fridays. And I just want to invite you back every Friday right here. You can ask questions just like Shauna has. And if you're watching the replay, make sure, don't be shy. Ask a question, or because I'll be coming back and I can answer the questions, or direct message me, DM me, and I'll be happy to share with you the link for my upcoming free workshop. This free workshop I'm entitling 5 days to the financial freedom. 5 days to financial freedom. You're going to be spending 1 hour a day with me for 5 days, and we're going to have not only a lot of fun, but you're going to learn a lot. And I've had some people tell me already they have learned more in 5 days with my last free workshop than they have ever learned in all their, like 5 decades. And so I'm really proud of that and really happy. We're going to have a lot of fun. I want to invite you back. Now that's on the 20th of February. You've got plenty of time to make sure that you not only sign up, but you make sure that your girlfriends sign up, have your daughters sign up, make sure that more women that you think would benefit from this come, because it's free. And I'd be happy to make that available to you. So once again, just go to my website right here, lynnekitchen.com, or direct message me, DM me, and I'll send you the link directly for you to put your name in, make sure that you're registered, and so that you can be part of the new free workshop coming up, 5 days to financial freedom. All right. Shauna says, integrity. It's always been here when I can. I'll always be here when I can. Okay, gotcha. I love it. Thank you, Shauna. And I'll be here for you too. So come on back. We'll see you next week. Same time, same station, right here on Let's Talk Money. Thanks, everyone. Bye for now.